oh my god, she's wearing more than black. I put on some eye makeup and some lipstick because we're going to talk about color. Okay. There's a big dust up with regards to the manufacturer Primo, and they're discontinuing some colors that artists consider like really basic. And so what I'm going to be talking about the colors that I use, why I use them. Mind you that I only use Primo, and the basic colors of cobalt blue, zinc yellow, and cadmium red were going to be discontinued or going to be replaced by some sort of like, oh, let's make believe this is a real color hue, you know. And coming from an art background, I tend to lean towards color hues and saturations that are found like in oil painting or pastel chalk, or you know, in the rest of the art world. You know, I mean, it's like polymer clay is moving more and more towards fine art, and to have like sunshine yellow and leprechaun green, it's like I don't know, I don't think so. So anyway, basically I used to use just a dozen colors. Now it's down to 11 because raw sienna is gone, and from the Primo line. But I'll be reviewing the colors, and I'll be reviewing these things that I call, see these? These are color cards, and they're ways of keeping track of how you mix your clay, how you can reproduce a clay color. So, and I don't know why there's like this like weird sort of like blink blink going on. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's start out with the primary colors. Primary colors are red. I like to use cadmium red. This is a cobalt blue. Oops, cobalt blue. Zinc yellow. Okay. The reason why I like to use primary colors is because if I want green that I can reproduce and have the hue be identical each time, I can just take a packet of blue, packet of yellow, mix them together. I have a baseline green that I can add white to, so it can be pastel. I can add black or any other, you know, like more blue to make it darker, let's say for shading. I can add gold highlights, which is really kind of nice. Or I can even add translucent to make like lettuce, you know, because lettuce is mostly water. If you have your primary colors, yellow and blue make green, yellow and red make orange, blue and red make purple. Those are your primary color. Those are your primary colors and your secondary colors. And if you add white to any of the secondary colors or any primary colors, you get pastels. You know, it's like if I put yellow and red together and add progressively increased amounts of translucent, I get different colors of like from blood orange to tangerine to orange juice for miniature food. So that's what I use. That's what I use for the primary and the secondary colors and my pastels. What we also need, we need white and we need black. Okay. We also need, I don't have a close-up bag. We also need translucent. Translucent in miniature food and also in faux gemstones stands in for something that's like clear like water or something like clear quartz. If we, you know, the same mixture of yellow and blue to make green, and you add a lot of translucent to it, we can make jade or we can make key lime pie. Okay, so that's because translucent stands in for anything that you can sort of like see through. Then this is burnt umber. Burnt umber straight out of the pack is a nice, makes for nice chocolate. Okay, they used to come out with raw sienna. I don't have any raw sienna. I don't know if they even make it anymore. But I used a burnt umber and white and maybe some yellow or red tones to make a flesh I know people like to use other type of clay that's sort of like slightly translucent for flesh, but I don't know. I just like I've never been really happy with that. So anyway, that's the brown. Okay. Oh, if you want to mix brown, and we have it in the color cards, you mix all three primary colors together, you can get a brown. Let me see if we can find that color card real quick. Oh, color card. Oh well, we'll find it. But anyway, where'd it go? It's in here somewhere. So, okay. Now, we don't want to get fancy, we want to get shiny. We have copper. We have gold. We have pearl. And we have silver. Now, if we add these shiny colors to primary colors or secondary colors, they get really pretty. And so let's readjust the camera angle so I can show you the color cards. Okay, this is a color card for red, and I'll put the link in the description below about where you can find the color card section on my website. This is just a simple polymer clay card that was already heat set, already cured, and with no finish on it. And this is a ribbon of cadmium red straight out of the pack. This twisty candy cane is red and white in equal proportions, just to remind myself that that's what went into this second ribbon. Alright? If there was 2 portions of white that has like 2 little hearts, and that little circle is the result. If it had 3 portions of white, that's why it has 3 little hearts, and then it has a circle that represents that color. That's just to remind me. You use whatever symbols and signs that you want to remind yourself what your ratios are. This is red and yellow straight out of the pack. It gets this ribbon with a 1 portion of white added to it. It gets this hue. With 2 portions of white, it gets this hue. With a portion of pink, it gets that hue. Alright? Red and white together make this is that red and white plus 1 for this pink. Add 2 more. Add 2 more and it gets this pink. Add yellow, or add red and white together. And so this is just just keeping track of like what makes what. Blue and red together make this very dark purple. If we add 1 portion of white, it lightens it up for that pastel. If we add 2 portions of white, it lightens it up for that pastel. If we add 3 portions of white, it lightens it up to that pastel. And then after I stuck them on there, I cured it and I gave it a finish. This is the color card for blue. Same thing applies. This is a strip, and this is coming out a little lighter on the video than it is like actually in real life. Oh, that's a little better. Okay. This is cobalt blue with white, the resulting result. Blue and yellow together, straight out of the pack. The result. I was looking for olive, and so then I added 1 portion of black. Ooh, ouch! Then I said, well, if I add white and then 1 portion of black, and then I got closer and closer to olive. Again, blue and red together, make a purple. Add 1 portion of white. It makes it a pastel. 2 portions of white, it makes an even lighter pastel. Now, this is what I think is interesting. This is when you add pearl to yellow. So this is a strip of yellow. This is, oh god, the lighting sucks. Okay. And this is a strip of pearl. That's the result. If you add gold to yellow, then we get these sort of hues. If you added gold to green, and that's 1/2 yellow, 1/2 blue, base green, then you get this. Add two more gold, you get that. Add 3 more gold. So if I wanted to replicate these particular mixes, I know where to start. Okay, the same thing for when I was trying to replicate the toasty top on a bun. Okay, that's toasty top, a little miniature bread. Okay, I tried this, I tried that. It wasn't until I got to here that star says that's it, because I wanted that smear. Okay, so it turned out to be this many bits of translucent, that many bits of yellow, that bit of, actually it was half of a portion of brown and half a portion of red. Now, I don't consider these other mixes up here failures. They're just not toasty top, but they were good for other things, like, you know, pumpkin pie, whatever. Somebody says, well, what about fuchsia? I said, I don't know, let's try it out. So this was the color card that we created for fuchsia. We did red with some purple that was red and blue base, add some more, and then we just kept on adding and changing and adding and changing. And this was the little map that I made for myself. And this down here was my primary color reminder on the picture. Like this is, so just in case the digital photograph came up looking a little wonky, I said that's my color reminder. So there's all sorts of, I have all sorts of color cards for different things. Like if you take natural colors and you twist them, you can turn them into like little seashell type of deals. This is like a little seashell type of dealie where you take different colors and you twist them and you turn them into like little spirals. I was aiming for abalone. Abalone has always been a very difficult and sort of like, and also to get like a oil slick on water. I really like those kind of deals. Oh, where is it? Oh, here. Don't have brown? You take all the primary colors, put them together, you'll get yourself a brown sooner or later. So this is just a very quick overview of the color cards and how to keep track. If you have any questions or you need further guidance, join me at cityoklay@Yahoo groups. The link is on my website, and I'll put the link to my website and the link to the Yahoo group, and I will answer any questions there. Because any question you have is going to be a question that somebody else has. Oh, this was when I was mixing colors with translucent, and how did it look on kind of pearl, and how did it look on kind of like the silver, and then I was sort of like goofing around with more translucent colors. You just keep track of your experiments, and if you keep track of your experiments, you can go back and say, oh, I wanted to repeat olive for a martini. Because that's what got me started. That and reproducing toasty top for my baked goods. Okie dokie. So that's it for the review on color cards. Yay! Some people ask me, well, how thick should I roll out the clay for the color cards, and how much of a ratio should I use? I'm saying roll out the representative colors as thin as possible. Put light colors on a dark sheet, put dark colors on a light sheet, so you can actually see that primary colors they're already translucent. That's why I like to mix my yellow and a blue together to get green, because it will maintain that translucence. Sometimes when you buy green that's already mixed, it's opaque, meaning that if you add translucence to it, you can't get lettuce, you can't get kiwi, you can't get jade or key lime pie, because it will be opaque. Alright, so press it out as thin as possible. Some people say, I don't have little cutout toolies like you do, little hearts and stuff like that. Soda straw, coffee stir stick. You just take a little coffee stir stick, stick it on the clay, go and blow through it. You got a little representation of the color that you use. When you're making these mixes, use as small amount of clay as possible, like half of a sugar pea. You don't want to be using big amounts, because I made that mistake. I was trying to trying to get that toasty top. At that time it was melted cheddar cheese for a miniature cheeseburger, and I ended up, after doing all the mixes, and I ended up with a thing like this big that lasted, I mean, I took this on tour, a 3-month tour in 2001, and I just kept on giving chunks of it away to people, saying, oh, you need some melted cheddar cheese, here you go. You know, I didn't know at that time that it works for toasty top too. So it's just like, do it in little batches and keep track of the little batches. Do that if you're a beginner, because knowing how to mix like a whole you know, collection of colors from just 11 colors saves you money in the long run, really, and it saves you a lot of heartache. You know, just have your base colors that you use, the primary colors that you can mix, secondary colors, your black, white, translucent, your stuff with a mica in it if you like a little shine. But keep the type of clay that you buy real simple, mix, and keep track of your mixes. And that way you can create a palette that's uniquely yours. Because like for me, my leaves that I make, they're not base green, just half yellow, half blue, make a green. I always like to throw a little gold in there because I'm a Leo and we're gaudy, you know. So we want to have colors that are uniquely ours. We want to have a palette of colors that represents what we want to express, not what some clay manufacturer wants us to express with their sunshine yellow and leprechaun green, or, you know. So anyway, enough of that rant. Thanks for visiting the video for colors.